My very first goal was to buy one house a year for 5 years. But after I bought my very first house and I saw that the process was much more achievable than I thought, and I could get a lot further with the resources I had than I thought, we had to reevaluate those goals. We did 5 deals in our first month. And I know there's a ton of content out on the interwebs about goals, and so I won't bore you to death about what goals are in general, but instead I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how I set my goals and about some experiences that I've had with goals that I've set, how I achieved them, if I achieved them, and then what I did along the path to adjust them if necessary. What's going on, everybody? As you know, the fourth quarter of the year is upon us, which means we're going to be starting a new year before you know it. And here at BiggerPockets, we want to make sure that you're as prepared as possible to take advantage of the opportunities that are going to be out there in 2023. So if you're looking to buy property in the next year, stick with me because I'm going to do a series of videos where we're going to teach you how to prepare yourself to buy property in 2023. And we're going to start off with a video on goals, how to set your goals, how to track your goals, and how to follow your goals to make sure that you get to where you want to be in 2023. What's going on, everybody? Henry Washington here. Welcome back to the BiggerPockets YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, because that's the way we're going to be able to keep showing you awesome and valuable content to help you grow and scale your real estate portfolio. And as always, please go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram. I'm at the Henry Washington on Instagram. So we all know goals are important because they're your roadmap to getting to where it is that you're trying to be. And if you don't know where you're going, it's going to be even harder for you to get there because you don't have that roadmap or that navigation system to help keep you on path or on track so that the activities you're actually doing are moving you closer to those goals. And I know there's a ton of content out on the interwebs about goals, and so I won't bore you to death about what goals are in general, but instead I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how I set my goals and about some experiences that I've had with goals that I've set, how I achieved them, if I achieved them, and then what I did along the path to adjust them if necessary. When I set my goals, I try to set SMART goals. And I don't mean smart like, I mean smart like the acronym SMART. And that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And I use this method because it is the easiest way to ensure that the goal is something that you'll be able to hold yourself accountable to and that you'll be able to track. When a goal is specific, it means you know exactly what that goal is saying. You know exactly what it is that you need to go do. When it's measurable, it means that you can look at any given moment and know how close or far away you are from that goal because you can measure it. And it's achievable, meaning it's something you can actually do. Relevant, meaning it makes sense and it aligns with maybe a bigger or broader goal that you have. And then time bound, meaning there should be a specific set of time that you think it's going to take you to achieve that goal. And you can use that time measurement as a way to hold yourself accountable. An example of a goal I set for myself in 2022 that follows this method is I wanted to buy 10 cash flowing rental properties that provide me a cash on cash return of at least 10% in 2022. And so let's break that down. Is it a specific goal? Well, absolutely. It's very specific. I know how many I want to buy and I know what criteria each one of those properties needs to meet. Is it measurable? Absolutely, because I put a value in there as in a number of properties, right? And so I can measure how far I'm going by how many of those properties I've purchased. Is the goal achievable? Yes, it's achievable in my perspective because I've bought properties before. I know I have the skills. I know I have the education that supports me being able to do that. Is it relevant or does it align to a broader goal? Yes, absolutely it aligns to a broader goal. I have a broader goal of getting to 100 properties so that I can then take a look at my portfolio as a whole and determine which direction I want to go from there. And so buying 10 doors right now, that cash flow obviously puts me closer toward that goal. So it is in line with that broader goal. What's the time frame for accomplishing that goal? Well, obviously I said it wanted to be done in a year. And so I have a year to accomplish that goal. So this is a SMART goal and it will allow me to be able to know how well I'm doing as I progress throughout the year. So here's how I take my goal and I break it down into weekly or even daily action. So the goal, as we stated, was to buy 10 cash flowing rentals that have a cash on cash return of 10% or more. And so when I want to figure out what do I need to do on a daily or weekly basis to achieve that goal, I can break it down, and it depends on if I'm looking either off market at properties or on the market at properties. And so I understand my numbers enough to know that if I need to get one deal, I'm probably going to have to make about 5 offers. And for me to make 5 offers, then it means I need to go on about 7 appointments to look at houses. And to look at 7 houses, I need to be bringing in at least 28 leads. If I can get 28 leads, then typically I can get myself to a deal. And so if I'm generating 28 leads a month, that's about 7 leads a week. And so that lets me know what type of marketing I might need to do in order to generate 7 leads a week. Maybe it's mail, maybe it's cold calls. It also will guide me as far as how much I need to spend on my marketing in order to help me generate 7 leads a week. And if I can stay on track for 7 leads a week, and that leads me to 1 deal a month, well, my goal is 10. So that will get me above my goal. And so it's setting my weekly or daily tasks above where I'm trying to get to. If I'm looking on the market, well, typically to get 1 deal on the market, I'll have to make about 30 offers, right? There's more competition on the market and people are listing their properties at retail value. So I'll have to make more offers because I'm going to be offering typically substantially less than what somebody is willing to accept. So I have to make more offers, which means I need to analyze more deals. And so I'll be analyzing about 50 houses in order to make 30 offers. And then if you break that down, that's about 12.5 deals I need to analyze per week. And so I can break that down into a daily goal so I know how many houses I need to analyze every day so that I'm making enough offers to get a deal. And so whatever your strategy is, whatever your goal is, you can take that overarching goal and then break it down or work backwards to what you would need to be doing every day in order to help you hit your goal, and try to set your daily or weekly tasks at a point where if you hit that daily or weekly task every day, then you would go past your goal. That way it gives you some wiggle room, because we all know life happens and you're not going to be able to always stay on track each and every day. All right, so now that you know how to set your goals, you need to be intentional about setting yourself up to be accountable to those goals. And one of the best ways you can do that is just to set a reminder or set a meeting with yourself at least once a quarter to review your goals. So this is when you're going to take a look at your goals, take a look at your progress towards those goals, and then determine if you need to change those goals or pivot from those goals to do something else. Because there's a lot of things that could happen between when you set your goals and then when you actually start to implement them. That some of those things could be in your control. Some of those things may not be in your control. In 2020, we had some goals that we had set aside to do some traveling, and then the pandemic hit and we couldn't do that. We couldn't work towards those goals, right? So we had to pivot and set some new goals. And so set some time up to be intentional about taking a look at your goals. Some other things that could impact your goals are new information, right? As you're implementing your goals, right, you might now know more about the process or the thing that you're working towards than you did before you started working towards that goal. And knowing what you know now, maybe you need to adjust your goal. Maybe you were too aggressive in that goal and you need to scale it back because you now understand what it's truly going to take to get to that goal. Maybe you need to adjust the time frame and keep the goal, right? So with that new information, you need to reassess. It may be that you didn't know what you didn't know and your goal was too small. That happened to us when we first got started. My very first goal was to buy 1 house a year for 5 years. But after I bought my very first house and I saw that the process was much more achievable than I thought, and I could get a lot further with the resources I had than I thought, we had to reevaluate those goals. We did 5 deals in our first month. And so as you're going down your path, you're going to get new information. You're going to get more education, and more education helps you make smarter goals and smarter decisions. So set that time aside to assess your goals at least once a quarter so that you can make sure that those goals are going to be as efficient as possible to help you getting to where you want to go. All right, now let's talk about some tips and tricks that I use to help me stay focused on my goals. Well, you have to remember that your goals are meant to guide your actions on a daily basis, and it's meant to guide your actions consciously and subconsciously. And so some things that I do to help guide me subconsciously are I physically write down my goals. If you look around my office, there's whiteboards everywhere. That's because we're always writing things down. I think there's something powerful about actually putting pen to paper or putting pen to whiteboard. When you write something, it makes it easier for you to remember. And so I won't just type my goals in my phone or in a form on the computer, but we will also write them down. And then I like to put those goals everywhere, right? I have goals that are sitting next to my computer at home. I have my goals that are literally in my shower. I have a shower notepad because I do my best thinking in the shower, and I'll write down things that I'm thinking about, but my goals will typically be in there as well. And the more places I have my goals, the more I'm going to look at them each and every day. I also have my goals in the form of a vision board on my phone so that every time I see the lock screen on my phone, I'm seeing a representation of my goals. And this is just helping me keep my mind on my goals. And so that subconsciously, the things that I'm doing every day will be guided by the goals that I set, and it will help me get to those goals. And so give yourself every advantage, right? It doesn't take much time to physically write down your goals. It doesn't take much time to print them out and put them in different places. But these small things can give you a big advantage to getting those goals accomplished. Another hack to helping you stay on track with your goals is to not keep them to yourself. Share them with your coach or mentor or accountability partner and schedule them to come to your quarterly reviews about your goals, or maybe you schedule a weekly check-in with them about your goals. And this will help you continue to take action on your goals because you know you're going to have somebody that you like, know, and trust and who understands the journey that you're on to be able to hold you accountable to doing those goals. When we have other people involved that we know we might either have to answer to or explain ourselves to, it will help us to not just take action, but be mindful or thoughtful when we're going to pivot from the original goals so that we can have that conversation with somebody else. So what do you think about this? Have you set some goals for yourself already for 2023? How did your 2022 goals go? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to see how you're doing towards tracking your goals. All right, folks, there you have it. So today we talked about how to set smart goals. We also talked about how to take those goals and then back into the steps you would need to do on a weekly or daily basis in order to help you achieve those goals. We talked about some tips and tricks for you to train your subconscious brain in order to help you achieve those goals. We also talked about some intentional things you can do to help you to stay accountable to achieving those goals. And so if this video was helpful for you, please give us a thumbs up. Please like, please subscribe to the channel. We love hearing your feedback, and we want to be able to give you more excellent content like this. And please stay tuned for the rest of the series. We've got more amazing content for you on how you can prepare yourself to buy homes in 2023. So stay tuned. Again, my name is Henry Washington. You can find me on Instagram at @TheHenryWashington, and we'll see you at the closing table.